right, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Chairman Kelly.
Present.
Legislator Quackenbush. Legislator Diamond.
Here.
Legislator Whites.
Here.
Legislator Beniak.
Here.
Legislator Duchessi.
Here.
Legislator Wheeler.
Here.
Legislator Isabel.
Here.
Legislator Patel.
Here. Okay, now if we all can stand for the pledge. Doug, would you lead us?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If we could stand for a moment of silence. Thank you. All right. Is there any public comment? Okay, I'd like to ask Legislator Wheeler to read a proclamation.
Thank you. Steve Aquario from NISAC contacted our Board of Legislators clerk, Cheryl Reese, and we are Montgomery County Legislator as a proclamation recognizing NISAC's 90-year dedication of service to New York counties. Whereas New York State Association of Counties, NISAC, was originated in 1925, dedicated to improvement of all county governments in the Empire State. Whereas NISAC is the only statewide association representing the elected and appointed interests of New York State's 62 counties, including the 5 boroughs of New York City. Whereas NISAC's major objectives are to strengthen New York's system of local government and to make county government an efficient, economic, and dynamic part of that system. Whereas, in order to achieve this aim, NISAC represents New York's counties before federal, state, and local officials on matters germane to county government and informs its membership and the public at large on issues of importance to every county government. Whereas, NISAC further strives to educate, train, and provide research on county policies affecting counties. Whereas, NISAC has consistently represented the best interests of all of its members, rural, urban, and suburban, and their representative properties. Whereas, 1915 will mark NISAC's 90th year as the county's official voice in Albany, and resolved, it is the intention of the Montgomery County Legislature to recognize NISAC's 90th year of continuous and dedicated service on behalf of counties of the Empire State and to applaud the organization's experience and spirit of cooperation and commitment to good government. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Montgomery County Legislature pause in its deliberation to commemorate the 90th anniversary of the New York State Association of Counties, done under my hand and seal this 27th day of January 2015, Martin P. Kelly, Chairman, New York County Legislature. And I will be presenting this Monday at the NISAC convention down in Albany, along with the other 52 counties, and this will represent Montgomery County instead of the flags with the proclamation. Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you. Any communication?
I've given everybody some things at your desk that we'll be talking about later.
Right. Next, I'll look for a sponsor in a second to approve the minutes of the organizational meeting. Barbara?
Second.
Terry? We can do all of them? Okay. All right. All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? All right. We approved all of them. Any old business to come before the board? Okay. Next is a resolution confirming appointments of the Montgomery County Fire Advisory Board.
Budgetary transfers.
I got the budgetary transfers. Where are they? Oh, all right. Yep, all right. Budgetary transfers. Barb?
Sponsor?
Second.
Brian, okay. Discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Yep. The procurement,
I'll sponsor.
Barb,
Second.
Ryan, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
I'd just like to compliment our clerk. She's done an amazing job with all of the minutes and the budgetary and aggregate budgetary transfers, so put a lot of work into the beginning of the year, and I just wanted to point that out. I commend her on her work. Well,
All right.
thank you.
All right. Old business, are we going to do that later on, or under other, or?
It would be, if you're going to do an old business, would be the appropriate time to take any action on that if any is desired.
All right.
You
So,
have the veto message.
Yep. We all have the veto message in reference to the animal abuse cruelty law. So, does anybody want to take action on this, or, I've spoke with Matt, and Matt and I are in agreement to work through some of the issues that constituents had in the county, and I know that we're going to work to put together something again. So,
I just want to say, I know that we've all received letters, and I know how hard you worked on this, and I too have spoke with Matt, so I look forward to seeing what you both have to bring forward. And I know it's going to be a good thing.
Mr. Chairman, could we do a workshop when you're all set with it? Just so we can go over a few things that we were personally contacted
Yep.
by or for.
I don't have an issue with that.
Okay.
Any other? Okay. Any other old business? Hearing none. A resolution confirming appointments of the Montgomery County Fire Advisory Board. Sponsored by Beaniac, seconded by Patel. Discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? All right. Next is a resolution appointing members of the Montgomery County Criminal Justice Coordinating Council, sponsored by Patel and Beaniac. Discussion. Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Next is a resolution county executive to sign agreement inmate dental services. Dr. Daniel Kana.
That should have authorizing, the word authorizing in between resolution and county executive.
Sponsored by Patel and Beaniac. Discussion. We're okay with just, okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Next is a resolution authorizing the county executive to sign agreement National Grid Niagara Mohawk Utility Energy Service Contract. Oh, I skipped over one. All right. Yeah. Resolution authorizing county executive to sign agreement inmate electronic law library services, LexisNexis, sponsored by Patel and Beaniac. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, carried. Next is a resolution authorizing the county executive to sign agreement National Grid DBA Niagara Mohawk Utility Energy Service Contract for Energy Savings Facility Improvements, sponsored by Wheeler and Patel. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Next is a resolution authorizing county executive to sign agreement CT Mail Associates Architectural and Engineering Services Public Safety Facility Expansion, sponsored by Weeks and Quackenbush. Discussion.
beginning phase, we had some initial discussions and they did some preliminary work and went very well. We moved forward with the beginning engineering, which we funded. It was underneath the threshold, so we moved forward with it. We've been very pleased with the work, so we wanted to continue with that moving forward. So there wasn't a new selection at this point. It was more of a continuation of the relationship that we've had since the beginning of this project.
And I need to be familiarized a little bit more with the procurement policy because of the amount here.
Yeah. This was brought up by a number of legislators. We did have a pretty thorough discussion about this with a number of them. And after talking to Doug, this is really where that written component to enter into the record of the procurement policy and why we did not go out for an RFP on this. And Paul can correct me if I'm wrong, but at this stage of the game, really what we would have done is more of a request for qualifications. The pay would have been very similar for a variety of engineering firms because it's a percentage base. So really, what we did want to go out would be more for qualifications, but since we have had this ongoing relationship and they've been doing well with the project since the beginning, we felt we didn't want to do that. And we wanted to stick to our timeline so we can get shovel in the ground in the spring and hopefully in by the fall so we don't get cut off by winter. So, if there is an issue with that, I would suggest that we enter that, an explanation into that procurement record every time.
No, just one more question, if I might. I understand how that works sometimes with percentage based. Was that part of the original request for proposals when the firm was selected for the initial stages?
No, in the initial stages, it started frankly with an informal conversation about what we were looking to do. There was just some suggestions going back and forth. I personally felt very comfortable with them. They're a very reputable firm in the area, as you're probably well aware of. And, I was just very pleased with what they have done. We've talked about it since, and as we look to phase 2, before any other work is done, we would RFP at that point in the beginning stages rather than before. Probably should have done one in the beginning, but again, I moved forward because it was a very positive relationship. I was very pleased with the work that was coming back after we started some initial discussions.
I'm just gonna vote no.
We had discussed it pretty much in committee, and we had discussed the time delays that would happen if we choose to go out to an RFP at this time. It'll substantially reduce the contract, or not reduce the contract, add to the time of the contract. At this point, Paul was there at the committee meeting. He said that the bids are, if there were bids on this, there would not be a big discrepancy in the pricing and delay, plus the fact of the matter that we already have $40,000 of the contract already done by CT Mail. They're familiar with the project, and we felt that, and I felt in committee that we proceed to the full. And it was also made clear that in the future that the county executive would share that more with us at the beginning before it got to this point.
Thank you. I also spoke with Paul, and at this point, given all of the information, I do feel comfortable voting yes on this and with this company. So I've talked with all of the parties, and I feel good at this point. So, thank you.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Abstained?
Wait, sorry, who opposed?
Next is a resolution amending 2015 operating budget 2014-15 immunization action plan, sponsored by Wheeler and Isabel. All discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Next is a resolution authorizing county executive to sign for New York State Department of Health Immunization Action Plan grant contract, sponsored by Wheeler and Isabel. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Next is a resolution authorizing the county executive to sign children with special health care needs contracts, sponsored by Wheeler and Isabel. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Next is a resolution amending the 2015 operating budget 2014-15
Yeah.
EI admin grant increase. Wheeler and Isabel. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Next is a resolution appointing member of Montgomery County Sanitary District 1 Board of Directors, sponsored by Quackenbush and Pertel. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Next is a resolution authorizing the filling of application for state assistance from Household Hazardous Waste State Assistance Program and authorizing the signing of Associated State Master Grant Contract under the appropriated laws of New York State, sponsored by Wheeler and Pertel. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Next is a bond resolution of the County of Montgomery, New York, dated January 27, 2015, authorizing the replacement of bridges within the county, estimating the aggregate cost thereof to be $2.1 million, appropriating said amount therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $2.1 million serial bond of the county to finance said cost, sponsored Wheeler and Quackenbush. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Next is a resolution delegating erroneous assessment corrections approval authority to auditing committee, sponsored by Quackenbush and Pertel. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor? Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Next is a resolution confirming appointment made by county executive to the Montgomery County Soil and Water Conservation Board of Directors, sponsored by Duchessis and Pertel. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. Next is a resolution amending Resolution 89 of 2014, appointing liaison Fulton Montgomery Regional Chamber of Commerce, sponsored by Wheeler and Duchessis. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor? Opposed, abstained, motion carried. Next is a resolution eliminating the position of Legislative Research Specialist and amending the 2015 operating budget, sponsored by White and Diamond. Discussion. Hearing none.
I'd like to make a motion to table that.
I'll second it.
Discussion?
No discussion.
No discussion. All right. Roll call then?
Who's second?
Yes.
Legislator Patel.
Aye.
Chairman Kelly.
Aye.
This is for the,
Legislator Diamond.
No.
Legislator White.
No.
Legislator Beniak.
Yes.
Legislator Duchessis.
No.
Legislator Wheeler.
No.
Legislator Isabel.
no.
Fail.
Discussion.
Roll call, please.
Legislator White.
Yes.
Legislator Beniak.
No.
Legislator Duchessis.
Aye.
Legislator Wheeler.
Yes.
Legislator Isabel.
Yes.
Legislator Patel.
No.
Chairman Kelly.
No.
Legislator Diamond.
Aye.
Pass.
Okay. Next is a resolution amending, next is a resolution approving abstract of audit claims, Quackenbush and Patel. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, carried. Next is a resolution appointing member to the audit committee, Quackenbush and Patel. Discussion. hearing?
Is it showing up as a blank on?
It should be the old.
Okay. I didn't know if she stepped back.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, it came out of committee review.
Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Motion carried. Anything else to come before?
I think, I don't know how we're gonna go about doing this, but I think we should look into the fact of expanding the committees again. 3 people committees are not workable. As you can see tonight, it's all the same names on the committees, and I'm not knocking any individuals, all right? We should look into, I don't know how to do it, we have to have them try.
I would be happy to have a discussion. I have strong feelings myself on it. I would be happy to entertain a discussion under education and government.
Okay, thank you.
Matt?
I just wanted to give an update on, today I was in Utica with a couple members of our economic, Oneonta with a couple members of our economic development office, in which we really received some good detail about the governor's $1.5 million upstate revitalization fund competition. And I just want to pass that information along. There's going to be this $1.5 million that will be split up amongst 3 of the regions. And there are 7 regions competing for these funds. This is above and beyond the regular CFA process, so we will continue to process our CFA applications like normal, but they will also be part of this plan that the regional council is putting together. Just some of what I took away from the meeting, what they're looking for this upstate revitalization competition is obviously jobs, but they're looking for strong private sector investment, 5-to-1, I believe was the ratio that they were talking about. Obviously more innovative ideas and forward-thinking type of projects and that are sustainable and long-term and focused on workforce development. So a lot of the buzzwords that you typically hear. It was a good meeting. Not surprisingly, one of the big hot topics of discussion was the need for unity within the region and how we all need to be supportive and understand that, you know, if something good happens in Oneida County, it's good for the region and that we need to have a united front. So I'll keep everyone posted on this process moving forward and what the strategy is. I am a council member. Also, Montgomery County was highlighted as with an initiative the governor's putting together called the Montgomery County Strike or Labor Outreach Strike Force, that I'm going to be very heavily involved and involve some money that they're looking to spend in a very short period of time to reimburse employers as it relates to job training and getting, you know, having a more proactive workforce development programming here in the county. So I'm excited about that. I don't have a ton of details yet, but I'll keep everyone posted on that. I have a meeting with the governor's office coming up, and we're also coordinating with our state legislators. So I think that's very exciting. Some of these statistics that we're providing today are certainly no surprise to you or I, but you know, there's certainly a lot of work